A teen vanishes after a school dance. The long road to justice. It began as a night of laughter, music, and teenage memories. An evening that should have ended with nothing more than tired feet and happy photos. Instead, it became the start of a mystery that would haunt a Georgia town for nearly 14 years. This is the story of 17-year-old Blake Chappelle, a high school student full of life who disappeared after a school dance. His case went unsolved for more than a decade, until an unexpected break finally brought answers. On the evening of October 15, 2011, Blake and his girlfriend attended their school's homecoming dance. By all accounts, he was in great spirits. Friends remembered him as upbeat, funny, and the kind of person who could light up a room. After the dance, the two went back to her house for a movie. Around 11:30 p.m., her mother dropped Blake off at a friend's place. That's when Blake called his mom, telling her how amazing the night had been. It sounded like nothing could go wrong. But sometime after midnight, Blake decided to make a 3-mile walk back to his girlfriend's house. By dawn, he was walking in the opposite direction, heading back toward his friend's place. Along the way, he sent 2 final text messages to his girlfriend. The first was unsettling. He said a police officer had stopped him, checked his ID, and asked where he was going. But official records showed no officer ever made that stop. Minutes later, his last text simply said he was cold. After that, nothing. 2 long months passed with no trace of Blake. His family searched tirelessly, clinging to hope. Then on December 19, 2011, a passerby spotted something in a creek in Newnan, Georgia. It was Blake. His body was found in shallow water, dressed only in an undershirt and underwear. His shoes had been discovered nearby. Investigators confirmed he had been shot. For his family, the discovery ended the desperate search, but it left behind even bigger questions. Who could have done this, and why? At first, investigators weren't even certain a crime had been committed. They considered the possibility that Blake had run away. But there was more to the story. Months before he vanished, Blake had been caught in a complicated situation involving a previous girlfriend. Their relationship had angered her family, leading to heated confrontations and even legal trouble. Blake had been charged with interfering with custody and had a looming court date just days after his disappearance. Despite that drama, police cleared the girl's family of involvement. They also cleared the friends who had been with him the night of the dance. And as weeks turned into years, leads dried up. But one strange detail stood out: anonymous letters. In both 2011 and several years later, investigators received cryptic notes from someone who seemed to know details about the case. The letters were never made public, but police believed the mysterious writer held important clues. Still, without solid evidence, the case grew cold. Fast forward to 2023. Investigators released a public plea to the anonymous letter writer, urging them to come forward. The move signaled that police were still quietly working the case, even after more than a decade. Then in September 2025, everything changed. Authorities announced they had arrested 38-year-old Scotty Elliott Smith. Detectives said he confessed to killing Blake, though exactly what led them to him remains a closely guarded secret. He had never even been on their radar until a recent lead pointed straight to him. Police say they were able to confirm details with Scotty that only the killer would know. Back in 2011, Scotty was 24 years old, just 7 years older than Blake. At the time, his criminal record was minimal. But in the years after Blake's death, his life spiraled into a series of arrests, ranging from reckless driving to violent offenses. He served time in prison before being released in 2020. Now in 2025, he faces multiple charges, including felony murder, aggravated assault, concealing a death, and tampering with evidence. Interestingly, despite the circumstances in which Blake's body was found, prosecutors have not filed any charges related to sexual assault, suggesting they may not have evidence to support that theory. For Blake's loved ones, the arrest brings long-awaited hope that justice may finally be within reach. But the story isn't over. Investigators have not revealed the exact lead that broke the case open, nor have they explained whether those mysterious letters were connected. What is clear is that after nearly 14 years of silence, answers are finally emerging. A small Georgia town, a grieving family, and all those who followed this haunting case may soon learn the full truth about what happened to a teenager who simply went to a school dance and never came home.